This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Radar, and I'm so thrilled to be speaking with Della Saba about physical. How are you today?
I'm good. Yeah, having a chill morning.
Wonderful, wonderful. I really enjoy your performance in this show, and I think I have to start with the fact that you have a very convincing accent that is not what you sound like right now.
I do? Okay, that's good news. No, I'm English.
Was that very difficult to master? Is there anyone that you modeled it on in order to sort of get it just right?
No, it's funny. I do a lot of voice work, cartoons. So this was my first on-camera American thing. So I'm very used to pitching up to being in kids' voice land. So it was, yeah, I have a great accent coach who helped me. But yeah, I think I got more and more used to it as we went along.
It's very convincing. I know, of course, that Rose also is not American, and she too, it's
Yeah,
it's a fun visual experience.
and Murray Bartlett as well. So
Of course.
I think we all, the R's are the one that always get me. Yeah.
So, how much are you like Bunny?
I think maybe more of my center, my core is inner life is like her, but I think we express things incredibly differently. I think a lot of Bunny's sort of she expresses herself through anger. I think the same maybe vulnerability. And I relate to the feeling of sometimes feeling like the outsider or feeling, yeah, kind of just who doesn't wanting to belong, which I think is very much at her core. But I think for her, her anger can either explode or implode on herself. I definitely don't live there as a person. So it was, yeah, I guess really tapping into the anger part.
Another big part of the performance is the physical movements. What is it like to just do these classes over and over again?
It was one of my favorite parts of it. I got to learn on this show, I got to learn aerobics, which was great through the pandemic because it got some kind of, I don't love exercise, but as soon as you have a role, you become incredibly driven. So I've watched like every aerobics tape online, and Jen Hamilton was the one who was putting all of it together, and that was truly my favorite bit. Also, because through COVID, we didn't get to be around people, and those were the moments to be, you know, with a group of people. And then the roller skating was it's all like a whole other thing. Um, yeah, Annie, the showrunner, asked me if I could roller skate, and I was a 90s kid, so I thought it was the same as rollerblading, which it's not. Yeah. And so they got me a trainer for 2 months to help me do that one sequence. But it was fun. It was my favorite part of doing the whole show.
No, it's definitely very impressive. I also, what you're wearing now, I think is something much darker than Bunny would ever be caught in. I feel like she's always just wearing these bright, eye-piercing neons.
Yeah, that as well was one of the fun parts of Bunny. Every time I'd go into the changing room and I never knew what sort of inventive outfit they had uh, come up with. Um, I think in season one, our costume designer, Cami, she kind of designed all my outfits to be, she described it as a superhero. So everything was about power and holding me in tight, and everything was so fitted. I think the colors and the fabric is all superhero-y. And then by season two, we had Ernesto, who I guess was following my journey of sort of falling apart. So everything became very sort of secondhand thrifty. Yeah.
On a show that's full of entertaining characters, I just I love Tyler. I think he is so funny and so positive, and he's got this stoner vibe, but it's mixed with a real heart. What is it like working with
Yeah,
Lou?
so fun. I mean, we were in it through the pandemic because most of our scenes, especially season two, it's just us two in a lot of scenes. And so, I mean, he's so fun and such a playful actor. And so, yeah, I had a great time working with him.
And I've noticed I've spoken to a few of your fellow cast members, and it's like the camera is always so close and in your face. What is that experience like, especially after you said doing so much voice work? It's like it gotta be a very different experience.
After COVID, you know how we were all, it was, I don't know, 6 months on our own. I was on my own, finding myself. And then suddenly to be on set, it was one of my first sets I've been on, and to have that camera, it does. I mean, our camera operator, he's kind of the eye of the whole, he's a character in itself. And I don't know if they described it, but we have the camera and then there's a little green mark. And so you're very much just acting to this green dot. Um, I got used to it. I guess it's more like doing auditions. You're kind of imagining your partner. But the first few times we did it, it was a new thing to learn.
It's impressive. I mean, I always wonder when I'm on a Zoom interview like this, I'm like, am I looking at the right thing? Am I, whatever? And you get a lot of good practice, I think, for that from this show and just being right up there, with the
Right. Yeah, yeah,
camera.
yeah, I guess so. And it's reading everything. So I guess the same as Zoom.
What is it like sharing scenes with Rose? Those are usually pretty, not chaotic, but definitely temperamental.
Yeah, I mean, I feel so lucky that I got to work with her and see on my first thing and see her as like she's such a good number one. And yeah, it was tricky in the sense that she's so kind and so um caring. So I definitely had to not see that. But I think actually, in some ways, that informed the relationship because on the page, I think I went in and sort of thought I was sort of fighting for my own, reputation almost. But because she was so soft and sweet and funny in real life, I think it started to become, I don't know if she'd hate me saying, like a maternal, like I'm needing her love. And it's more of her acceptance that I need rather than it being at all about the aerobics.
That makes sense. And this show has such a fantastic cast, but Bunny doesn't get to interact with everybody. Is there anybody
No,
you would just love to share scenes with if the story was wildly
everyone,
different?
everyone. I think I have a few scenes with Rory in this, but he was just so fun to work with. I'm sure other people have been saying he's just his comedy. I it was just so fun to watch him working. And again, as an actor on set, he's so inclusive and makes it so warm. Uh, but yeah, he's so fun to play against. So more scenes with Rory, I guess. And Greta. I have no scenes with her either. And Deirdre's also such a lovely person.
I feel like this show is full of, lonely people who could really use someone very much unlike them to, connect with. It would be nice for audiences to see that and see them doing that.
Yeah, I mean, especially I keep referencing COVID, but it was such a big part of it influenced so much of the show, especially a show called Physical. I remember in season one, we were so scared to touch anything or everything, felt very dangerous. And I think that, yeah, definitely informed it and the isolation of it all. I probably wouldn't have gone entirely in that direction had I not had that experience at the same time.
Is there anything that you can preview for season three or that you're allowed to say?
I in season I don't know what I'm allowed to say. I'm not as much in season three, but I guess I don't think I'm allowed to say, apart from Zoe Deschanel is in it, and I grew up watching her, so that was cool to meet her.
Wonderful. I was hoping you were going to say I'm not in season 3, but I am in season 4, 5, and 6. It's all been
Yeah,
plotted
I
out.
mean, that would be great if they want to do a 4 and 5. I mean, that would be a dream.
So, what else are you working on right now besides physical?
Right now, I actually, in the last couple weeks, have been doing a lot of cartoons. I don't know if I'm meant to say I'm doing an animation for one of the. Am I allowed to say? I don't
I
know.
would say let's not. We'll just leave it a
Let's
nice.
not do
Tell me
that.
tell me
But
about what
I've
you've
just
done that
finished.
has happened.
I've just finished doing Kung Fu Panda. We did 3 seasons. I was doing it alongside this show. So it was such a walk from going like American bunny to this like over the top Cockney weasel. I play the villain in it opposite Jack Black. So I guess I'm playing a lot of kind of villainesque characters. So I was jumping from that to that, but that's been a dream to work on because it's just such play. So that, and at the same time as well, I was doing another cartoon where I had to be from Manchester. So I was like really just juggling different things. But the one I'm working on right now, it's the first time I'm singing in a cartoon, so that'll be fun.
And do you have a desire to do more live action, TV or film?
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to do. I'm kind of craving doing something theatre, so I'm gonna see what can come from that. But no, that's the plan to keep going in that direction.
And do you like this villainess type casting, or would you
I
like
don't
to
know
be,
why I got
the hero?
it. It's so funny through COVID. I don't know what I was channeling. I guess some kind of inner anger or something because it all came at the same time, like literally in the same month. So that was where I'm at. I don't feel in the same place. So I'm kind of interested. I really believe that where you are at, the roles kind of come at you at that time. So I feel like that will inform me of what my next chapter is.
I like that attitude. And I promise that audiences enjoy your villainess roles, watching them and listening to them, and
Thank
especially, your
you.
accent, which again is quite impressive. So,
Thank
uh,
you.
but thank you so much for taking some time to speak with me today. And I look forward to seeing whatever it is of you there is in season 3.
Thank you very much. It was lovely to meet you.
You too.